4, 3. Is everything working? Okay. Don't touch your mic. Okay.
Okay.
Hi everyone. Thank you for coming back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Marquisa Lamise, and this is my son. He's joining me today because he didn't want to go to sleep. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so in this 4th episode of my
Ow.
podcast, don't be rude. In this 4th episode, I'll be talking about navigating through pregnancy alone, and the physical and emotional challenges that I had.
Wow.
Let me tell you, it's been really rough. I know it's been a while since I've created an episode, but I ain't got no long time to do it. So I decided to add them into the podcast, which I assumed this was going to come one day. Hey, are you going to be in it or not? Can I clean your face?
No.
Sit down. I thought you were going to be in it. Well, let's start off with Midas. Midas, you got anything to say?
Yeah.
What you got to say? You want to say hello?
Hello.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so the first question I want
Wait.
to... Okay.
Jesus forget his promise for the present gift, and with all the first flavors, when Jesus set the place up, then Jesus is gonna promise. Then I would also want handmade. The wizard wouldn't have a big giant blue present. Now you're going to try to open it. It's a giant beautiful glasses. And you will go watch TV and do everything else.
I heard a lot. I heard Jesus was going to make a promise, go watch TV, something about gifts. Midas, what are we talking about?
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot.
Promise.
You talking about promises?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we getting to Christmas or something?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what we're talking about. Okay. Well, I
But
promise you, you'll have a great Christmas.
but but it's not Christmas time. But now
Almost.
it's almost Halloween time.
Yeah, it's in a couple days.
So is it actually Halloween time now?
Yeah, it is. It's October.
It's October for Halloween parties now.
I don't know who about to go to a Halloween party. It's cold outside. I don't like the cold. We could dance in the house though. All right, you guys, we're gonna try this again because I tried to do it with my son, but it just wasn't working out. But I did tell him that I was gonna leave that intro there, so whatever. Okay, so this podcast episode is about navigating pregnancy alone. Okay, so when I say alone, you kind of feel alone, even though you have support sometimes. Um, Throughout my pregnancy, though, I was still with my baby daddy, but I knew that it wasn't gonna last. So let's start with the physical challenges. So first question is, how did I adapt to the physical change? So the first 3 months of my pregnancy, I couldn't stand the smell of anything. Like, it stopped me from eating, it made me nauseous. So what I did, honestly, I just stayed in my room. Like, I didn't want to be around no one. Everything smelled bad. Like, everything. If it wasn't something that I wanted, everything stunk so bad. Oh my gosh. So I just kind of just stayed away out of the scene, and after that part was over, and luckily it only lasted like the first couple months. I did also have body aches throughout the whole process, which sucked. um, so we had like I had stomach aches, back pains, and for most of my pregnancy, it didn't even look like I was pregnant. So people were basically saying like, "Oh, you're lying. You're not even that far along." Honestly, I didn't even show until maybe the sixth, 7th month. You know what I'm saying? Like that's so crazy. But people don't consider like how small a person is and their way of growing, the way they body work. Everybody's body is not the same, and also it depends on um, what number of pregnancy you're on for your body to develop so fast. So um, people tried to call the bluffs like, oh, I was lying that I was pregnant, which was crazy, because who wants to lie about that? Like my life is changing. That's crazy. But to each their own. People were ignorant, obviously, to how pregnancy works. So I didn't take it really that personal, but it did make me feel some type of way just a little bit. But now that I'm aware that it was just people being ignorant, I'm okay. But the body aches, I had a lot of back pain, stomach pain, couldn't really bend, had to sit down most of the time, even though I am look pregnant because I was so fucking small, still small. Still small, but yeah. So what did I do with that? When I was at work, I had to sit down a lot. Obviously, you need to get accommodations because your job just is not going to allow you to sit um, for their reasons, whatever company policies they have. So just go get accommodations. It's definitely a way around it. Make sure your doctor approves on it, and anything cannot go over um, a doctor's approval. And once the company approves the accommodation, it's kind of set in stone. They gotta abide by those rules. So that helped a lot. And then at home, I would get in a bath and put Epsom salt in there. It didn't really matter, um, like the brand Dr. Till or Equate. It really didn't matter for me as long as it was something in there. It really was soothing to my body. Um, so I do recommend that. Um, Also, I took Tylenol because the doctor said that's the only medication that I could take for pain while I was pregnant. So that helped with the body aches. Okay. Another thing another physical change that I had was shortness of breath. And that happened throughout the entire pregnancy. I was more so like an on the go person, like, oh my God, time is ticking. I only got 9 months before my life is dedicated to the person that I decide to push out. So I need to get some stuff done. That was my mindset at the time. Senior in college, I needed to graduate before he got here. So yeah, so the shortness of breath was really for me like moving too fast, moving too fast. So in those moments, I had to learn to slow down. Like, okay, stop walking, breathe, and take a moment to myself because maybe I'm moving too fast and my body can't take it, because I'm with child. Makes sense. Another physical challenge I had was, well, this happened at the end, closer to the end of the pregnancy. Um, as I was getting bigger, which I loved actually, because I just wanted to see me with weight on myself, and it looked good. um, the vomiting, like that physical change of, okay, I gotta eat, gaining weight, but I'm throwing all this food back up. So I had to learn how to portion my food out. Um, because I only could eat in small portions or else I'm throwing it up. And that happened at the end of pregnancy. I did have a boy. It was like this myth of if you throw up while you're pregnant, you have a girl. So I have a boy. So you don't know what you be having, you know what I'm saying? Even though you get all the symptoms. it don't matter. Just letting you know. And the last physical change, no, it's two more, three more. Never mind. A couple more physical change was random sleep spells. So you know how you see your great grandma, your grandmother, or your granddad randomly fall asleep in front of your face on the chair or on the couch. Me as a pregnant woman, I don't even know that I'm asleep watching the movie. Sleep. Somebody talking to me. Sleep. Like, oh man, I didn't even realize I was tired. So those random sleep spells, I needed to rest. But again, I had a lot going on at that moment in my life as far as school, I had work and things like that. Um, I'm still doing the same thing, school, work. But is when in that moment in your life of you being pregnant, um, honestly, everything should be paused. Like you really should just focus on your health and your body. Like honestly, I really feel like you should be taken care of. But everybody ain't got that type of luxury like myself. So it is what it is, and I have to do what I have to do. So sometimes I'm sleeping while you're having a conversation with me, even like at, on the job, all type of stuff. Like I was just tired. Like so that you really need to take care of yourself. So really think this through. Like if you decide to have a baby, like make sure you plan out months of not working. Like save your money if you don't have no one else. If you know that the father that you chose for your child doesn't isn't able to take care of you and things like that, like just make sure you got your ducks in a row so you can take care of your body and yourself and your baby in those 9 months because you need the time off. Trust me, you need time off. The swollen ankles. Now, this surprised me because I am very small. So I didn't even know that was a thing for me. Like cankles, like for me. But you know what? It didn't hurt my feet. It just was swollen. When I look down, I'll be like, oh wow, my feet is swollen. So what I did for that, I just elevated my foot. And I knew to do that because other people in my family have bigger ankles and they have to elevate their feet. So because I already was knowledgeable what to do when that happens, I kind of just did the same thing. Just elevate your feet and then the ankles kind of go away. So I really didn't do too much walking. I had a car. Um, so yeah, me walking wasn't happening. Not too much, especially because I had the ankles. Um, Skin discoloration. Oof, I hated that so much. Like, like I was getting darker and it was just so ugly. Like it was like, oh, I don't wish that I got no picture. I'm glad I actually don't have pictures, but like I wish I could show you. Like it was like darkness coming up. I was like, what is going on with my skin? Is he taking my color? Like what's going? Is he taking the what is he doing? Is he taking the brown? And I'm going to black. Like what's happening? Oh my god, y'all, that was so ugly. It was so ugly to the point that I changed my hair color. That's when I went brown because I was like, I'm not looking, I'm not feeling good about myself, all because of the changes, the physical changes. So I did something that helped, that made me feel better, which was change my color, my hair color. Um, the last physical change was the my hair texture. My hair grew thicker and it was already thick. My hair is thick. So I was like, oh my gosh, like it was hard to do that thick hair, but it was so pretty and full. So I guess that was the pro. Like I kind of like the hair growth, but every other thing you can miss me. You can miss me with that, but we figured out how to maneuver with those changes. Okay. So with the doctor visits, I didn't go to the doctor by myself most of the time. I went with my child's father most of the time. But what I do recommend is to always have your medical card, always have money on you because you don't know what the copay is. Um, have your questions prepared. If you like, say like you went through something at home, I don't know, like constipation or I don't know, something that was medically wrong, make sure you record that information, and then on your next doctor's appointment, let them know what's happening with your body. So then you can just stay aware of, if anything's wrong and whatever you need to take care of. Um, Also address any concerns that you may have. Um, so one thing I did struggle with, I brought up constipation, was constipation, and this is like a lot of information, but when I saw like blood come out, I was like, something's wrong. Like I'm over here panicking. Everything was fine. Everything was fine. But just bring up any concerns to the doctor. Yeah, so um yes. So another thing that I do want to point out, for the physical changes, which I didn't have thankfully, which is nothing wrong with also, stretch marks. So what I did, I looked up like what oil to use, excuse me, on my stomach. And so I wanted to show you guys because it worked really good. And I still got it. But this right here, I don't know if you can see it, but it's called the vitamin E moisturizing oil. I think I got it from CVS. What I did was rub it on my stomach every single day, every bath, every night. Didn't matter if I took a bath or not. I just made sure it was on me every single day. I did not want a stretch mark on my stomach. I love my stomach. I feel like it's my signature body part. Okay, so if you're like me and a stickler about your stomach, I really highly recommend, because I don't have any stretch marks in the area. Okay. Also, um, again, I told you it didn't really matter the brand, but ever since my pregnancy, I keep this because I don't like body pains, and those baths are really soothing and it really helps. So I really recommend getting some. Okay, not sponsored to do that. I just wanted to share what worked for me in my pregnancy. So I think, if it worked for me, it may work for you. So, all right, y'all. So now I want to talk about the emotional challenges I had. So how did I find my emotional support? Um, I found my emotional support by going to therapy. um, I also looked into getting a doula, which my therapy recommended, and also my therapy, my therapist, don't mind me. My therapist recommended a doula and a midwife, so I did get those two women in my life throughout the entire pregnancy. I had home visits. That was great. They always provided resources. Um, they taught me about how WIC worked. They taught me about like some parenting skills, because I didn't. I was that girl before a baby appeared in my stomach. I was the girl that steered away from kids. Okay, you got a kid, get them away from me. Mainly because kids was like mean to me, so I didn't understand. So I just like didn't want to be around. Like, you're mean, then I'm mean. But now, then when I had my own child, I was like, oh, I gotta learn how to cope with children. I have no clue how to do that. It's so crazy. I used to babysit, but it's different. I used to babysit as a kid, but I don't know, it was different. Like, when you go from like, oh, you gotta watch your cousins, as when you a kid, you think it's so cute, but then when you like a grown up kid, because they still kids to me, 18, 19, 20, and you like living your life and getting a taste of freedom and all that, you're like, what? Kids? Who? I don't gotta go outside. Like, that's how it goes. So then when I was with child a little older than that, then I was like, okay, yeah, you gotta relearn how to be around children. So that's kind of what happened with that. So The doula was super supportive, midwife was super supportive. Also, I have family that was super supportive as well. In some situations, people don't have that, and that's okay. But the doula and the midwife, they definitely work. They definitely work, and the therapist too was super supportive as well. So that's just keep in mind, like you don't always need family to be there. Like use your resources. It's resources out here that may be way better than having your family there anyway. Honestly, and I found every last support system that I had was awesome for me. The family doula, midwife, and the therapist. I found my therapist through my school that I was attending, and she helped me with the resources, of course, to get the doula and the midwife. My tongue is twisted on this midwife word, so that was nice. So definitely look into that support. Never feel like you're alone as far as finding resources. So utilize what you have in front of you at that moment. I used my school, ask questions, ask for help, and they led me into the right direction. So as long as we open our mouth, speak up about whatever situation we have, there is a way, to get support. So keep that in mind. And I don't know how I knew to do that. Honestly, I just felt, because I felt alone. I was like, you need to reach out. I telling myself, like, you need to reach out to somebody because you don't know what you're doing and you want to be the best mom that you can be. So that's what I did. So how I managed my stress during these times, um, honestly, I just kept telling myself every day to wake up happy. And that might sound so simple and maybe unrealistic, but I'm serious. Literally, I still do that to this day. If I don't feel like getting out the bed, I tell myself mentally, like, you need to get up, get out the bed, start your daily routine, and everything will be okay. You know. So literally, and when I was pregnant, that's what I did. Like, this baby didn't ask to be here. You knew what you were doing. So be happy for this baby because you want your baby to be happy and enjoy life, and you don't want this baby to be sad because you were sad. Like, be happy. That's what happened for me, and that's what helped me through the stress. Like, if I felt like people were stressing or trying to be a stressor or whatever they were doing, the act of whatever they were doing was stressful, I was just like, let it blow over. It's not even that serious because my baby don't deserve any stress. So that's pretty much what I did. I also told myself this this is my last time not having to have a responsibility for no one else but me. So I need to get up and choose, like, on positive thoughts. Whatever, like, small thing was stressing me out, it's not that deep. Like, I always, like, told myself, like, you need to change the way you think. You're not young anymore. You decided to take on this serious responsibility of raising a human being. It's time to let go of whatever immature side I had, and it's time to grow all the way up. you know, so that really helped me also, um, with my stress management, time management, managing my life and work balance, like things like that. Like, it was just time. So how did I overcome loneliness? Did I overcome it? I don't think I did. But in the times where I felt like I need comforting, in those times of me being pregnant, I still lived with the child's father. So I told, him, hug me, hold me, things like that. And that was comforting while I was lonely. As far as um, overcoming it, it's not a. I don't think I really. I don't know. I think I just learned to live with it. Love myself more. Choose like and then I started to think like, would I be okay if this was happening? Whatever scenario was happening to my baby, would I be okay with this? If the answer was no, then I changed my mindset about myself. Then you shouldn't be okay with this happening to you. Um, and I just started to learn to live with that, live with myself, learn to love myself more, things like that, just to overcome the loneliness. Live through the loneliness, and yeah, I don't really feel like I overcame it. I just feel like I learned to live with it, and I'd be okay. Literally, I'm okay. Okay, so what surprised me the most was those cankles. I'm not gonna lie, like I was really confused on how I got cankles. Like literally, the biggest I've ever been was 155 pounds, and that was me with the baby. Like that was big for me, and it wasn't big. You know what I'm saying? Like I look in the mirror, it wasn't big. So yeah, that was just like a shocker. I don't know. For me, since I know like that's really not in my genetics, it's pretty cool. So sound weird as hell. I gained some weight. It's pretty cool to experience that for one time in my life. um, uh, I decided to celebrate my pregnancy by having a gender reveal slash baby shower. I think I was like around 6 months. Um, and I was pretty big at that time. That was nice. My best friend threw the gender reveal slash baby shower, so that was really nice. It was really cool. And then like I think the 7th month, I had a maternity photo shoot, which is pretty cool. I can show you guys some of those photos. It was nice, really nice. You may see the father in some of them. I don't know. Maybe if I decide to post his ass, I don't know. But it was definitely dope. Definitely dope. And then like though I did this, I was by myself, like me and the child's father broke up when I was 6 months pregnant. Um, I decided, I would share like this information with my child by making a song. I made a song for him called "What Is Love." Um, I play it for him from time to time. He really likes it. So that's pretty much like right now he's young, so he doesn't understand what's happening. He just like sees it and like, oh, there's mommy, and oh, here I am. That's me, and oh, that looks so good. But when he gets older, he'll like understand the lyrics and everything. But I don't really plan on sharing too much unless he watched this podcast and he asks questions like, whatever questions he asks, I'm so open to tell the truth because I think that's, truth sets you free. I really am that person that believes that. So listen to the song, and then right after the song, I'll get into the Bible.
Well, now, really, when we go back then to falling in love and say it's crazy, falling, you see, we don't say rising into love. There is in it the idea of the fall.
What is love? What is love? Is it you? What is love? What is love? Is it true? What is love? What is love? kept me motivated, pushed me to finish my race. Graduated, covered my scars, kept me alarmed, listened to my heart's ooh, ooh. You taught me patience, kept me captivated. I'm finna make it, spirits lifted because of you. I'm back to praying, sorry baby, that we didn't do this the right way. No, we're not married, but your father and I love you, despite of the consequences. You are a blessing.
All right, you guys, I am about to read the Bible. We started off. We stopped at chapter 5, Genesis, and now we're going into chapter 6. Okay, so again, we're reading the Messenger. Okay, and the title for chapter 6, the first section 1, is Giants in the Land. Okay, when the human race began to increase with more and more daughters being born, the sons of God noticed the daughters of men were beautiful. They looked them over and picked out their wives for themselves. Then God said, I'm not going to breathe life into men and women endlessly. Eventually, they're going to die. From now on, they can expect a lifespan of 120 years. Okay, we're going to pause right there. And that was verses 1 through 3. Baby. So what I took from that was, y'all ain't supposed to look at us as like beautiful, or like men men are supposed to look at women as beautiful. Or I wonder if God was like upset that men were choosing their wives because God was supposed to choose who was supposed to be with who. Maybe I think that's interesting. But people were living for a long time, 600, 800 years, almost 1,000 years. And you telling me just because they said they started to notice that we were beautiful and they decided to choose who they wanted to be with. God said, you know what, I'm going to knock your life down to 120 years. Isn't that wild? That's wild. That's wild, bro. Like, I wonder, like, I don't understand the reason behind it. Like, I wish God just broke that part down. Like, like, well, this is why I don't want you to look at the woman as beautiful, or this is why I don't need you to choose your wife. Like, come on, tell me the why. Maybe we would have got it together. I just feel like no one knew the why. But anyway, we're gonna keep going. Verse 4. This was back in the days, and also later when there were giants in the land. The giants came from the union of the sons of God and the daughters of men. These were the mighty men of ancient lore, the famous ones. Now, I don't know if that part is metaphoric. I don't know if giants were real or not. And that's just me, like, just going through this and like having a reaction towards what's happening in the Bible, and trying to like tear it apart. But we do, those cartoons with the with the giants and stuff. So maybe it was some truth in that. But that's interesting. That's interesting. I can't really picture that being a reality, but interesting to think about for sure. And that's pretty much it for this podcast but I will continue chapter 6 on the next one, starting at verse 5. Okay, because I'm just trying to understand this Bible. Okay. And I'm giving you my answers based off of my interpretation. So my interpretation could be wrong, but I do want to understand it. And I hope people comment. Let me know what you think. What really happened in that moment, because I'm really shocked that God just decided to shorten our lifespan by 900 years, all because the man decided to choose his wife. Like, that just sounds crazy. But okay, so I'll see y'all on the next podcast. Thank you for watching.